Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's a Wednesday. I know it feels like a Tuesday. You may have thought it was Tuesday when you woke up, but it's really Wednesday because yesterday wasn't Monday, it was Tuesday. Are you confused yet? Well, we're going to clear up that confusion because we've got your HCC news and information for this Wednesday morning. Stick around. It's the 8th of September, and we've got some special guests on the show. We're going to be talking about our art program. Also, we've got a guest from Coleman College who'll be joining us very shortly. But my co-host this morning, Dr. Tony, is out, and we've got Carolina Linares making a special appearance. Hey, Carolina, how are you?
So good to see you, Todd. It's already Wednesday. It's going to be a short week. So excited.
Yeah, it's a short week. It kind of confused everybody because all day Monday, I thought it was Sunday. And then yesterday, Monday. But no, it's not. Today's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. I know it feels weird, but the weekend will be upon us soon enough. We're back on HCCTV with this show. We do the live versions every morning on Facebook Live and YouTube, which you're watching us now. Thanks for being here. But if you missed the show, you can catch it on HCCTV, the rebroadcast daily, Wednesdays through Fridays at noon and 5 p.m. And you can also find us across all social media platforms, Carolina.
That's absolutely right. You can find us at HCC as HCC District on Facebook page, on YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and also Twitter. And just like you said, noon and 5, you're going to find us from Monday through Friday back on HCC TV. So please check your listings for the channel.
That's right. Okay, Carolina, stick around. We'll check in with you in a little while. We've got a couple of guests. One of them is going to be logging in shortly, but right now we're joined by Melinda Laszczynski. Melinda is the campus coordinator of the Studio Arts program at HCC Southeast. Good morning. How are you?
Todd, good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
We are good. I want to hear all about the new things that are going on in the Studio Arts program. Let's talk about what's been going on for the last 18 months. The elephant in the room, COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Everything's been online. How is that teaching an online course when you're trying to teach studio art? That seems like it could be challenging.
Yeah, it's really quite a challenge because everything is so visual and hands-on, and I'm used to kind of being able to be right next to someone and guide them and see how they're holding their tools and, how they're mixing colors. So being online, YouTube has been great. I actually, got a webcam and started making videos, which is weird, but it seems to be working. And I've also found a lot of really good tools outside of Canvas like Padlet that have been really helpful for class. So it's been better than I expected.
Well, I know the last time we talked about a new way of doing things, teaching online instruction, and you had to find new ways and new avenues for students to participate in virtual shows and exhibitions. Are you still doing that now? I know you've gone to Instagram, and how is that working?
Instagram has been great. It's a really good platform to make our program and our students' work more visible to an international community and have a global presence, which is really, really nice. This semester, knock on wood, we are anticipating that our student show will also be back in person as well as on Instagram. So we're hoping to utilize our galleries this semester.
How has it been with the students? I know it's kind of disappointing because we've been talking, it seems like, for the last year, hopefully getting back on the campuses. We tried to do it last spring. It just really didn't work out with the COVID cases. This summer, we were able to get some students back in the classroom. Now we're talking possibly the beginning of October, getting some students back in classes again. What's been the attitude among students? I mean, they've had a lot of things thrown their way. It's very challenging for them, I imagine.
They really have, as a professor, I just try to be as flexible and caring as possible. Besides COVID, there's so many other things that are happening in students' worlds. And, I'm just trying to really focus on teaching them and them learning and, making the best work that they can given our situations. From what I can gather, I think students are excited to go back in person and just be around, other art students and be able to use the classroom studio space. So I'm hoping that we will be able to go back in on October 4th.
Now that you've been doing the online instruction for a while, has your perception of virtual teaching changed any over the last going on 18 months?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we first started, one of my students said, "How are we going to learn online?" This was back in spring of, what was that, 2020?
Yeah.
When everything hit, and he was like, "How are we going to do this?" And I said, "I have no idea." But we figured it out. And, I think that there's definitely positive aspects, from the online learning thing. One thing that's been really helpful for me is it forces me to be super organized, and everything is in Canvas. Like every resource, every web page that I could give to my students, it's already there. So that makes me feel pretty good.
Are these things you think you'll be continuing as we move back into the classrooms, where you're going to have an online component which will play a vital role in your instruction?
From feedback I've gotten from students, they seem to really like having some videos because they like to be able to rewind lectures and demos and, watch things again and listen. So, I'm happy to continue it. I think it's been really helpful.
We're always telling students, if you want to, when we do go back in person, we were anticipating going back at the beginning of this fall. For the in-person classes, they're going to be very small. I imagine with certain instructors, there's going to be a lot of popularity. So we're always encouraging students to sign up early to get the instructor you want, the time you want. Is that something that you're finding is very important? Because these in-person classes, I guess we're going to fill up pretty quick.
They did fill up quick. I have some students in my class that are, I teach at Southeast. They're coming from like A-Leaf and Stafford, so they are coming from pretty far. Usually I'm just getting students from around my particular campus. So I'm also thinking that's pretty interesting. It's nice getting to work with students from all over Houston because Houston is such a big city,
Yeah. Do you feel the shutdown when it did happen and working remotely, do you think that sparked any creativity being an artist yourself?
I don't know. It was definitely, I was really focused on figuring out how to do things, and if there was any creativity, it was maybe like, oh, I'm going to bake a lot of extra things this week, like I'm going to just, deal with it that way.
Right. Yeah. Do you see yourself taking some, or have you noticed it amongst the students? Have they been any more creative now that they're kind of sequestered at home in many cases and don't go to a campus to go to class?
It's interesting. I have a student that's, she's in my Painting 2 class for the second time. She took it over the summer, and she's already on her second 30 by 40 inch painting, which is really large and super impressive. So I think definitely there's some cases where some students are using this as an opportunity to just really go all in, and really explore and delve into something. So I think some of them definitely are.
Here's an art question, a little bit of speculation. During different periods of time, it sparks maybe a movement in art. Do you think 10, 20, 50 years from now, we're going to have a period of time where it's going to be pandemic art, where you'll see art that was influenced from people working at home and learning a new way of life?
I'm absolutely sure. That's exactly how art history works, and also political movements, social things that are happening. I think that's all kind of like forming this massive ball of things that artists are dealing with, and that we'll definitely see art historians talking about down the road.
So we could see an exhibition in MFAH one day, the pandemic art. We probably won't be alive.
Yeah. I was going to say I'll be dead, but it'll be there.
We'll be dead by then, but they'll be looking back. Our great grandkids will be there going, wow, it really did that. Boy, that's crazy. Melinda Laszczynski, the campus coordinator of the Studio Arts program at HCC Southeast. Thanks for being here this morning. Continued success in your program. And I know you're looking forward to getting back on a campus soon.
I am. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, and hope that everything goes well, and see you again soon.
All right. Thanks, Melinda.
Take care.
Okay. If you're interested in HCC's art program, as we mentioned, you can sign up for it. You want to sign up for the classes, you need to sign up now. The fall semester is underway. but you can sign up for the second start semester. That starts September 20th. Registration, we'll talk more about it later in the show, but it's available right now. Go to hccs.edu/now to register. Okay, I'm going to bring in my co-host because we're still waiting on our other guest, Cynthia Lundgren from Coleman College of Health Sciences, talking about their medical assistant program. They are number 2 in the country, rated number 2. Phenomenal designation for them. She's had some technical issues this morning, so she may be logging in shortly. But meanwhile, we're going to get on to some news and announcements. Carolina Linares, you're joining us now. We want to talk about the VAST program because VAST is a wonderful program and they have a new cohort.
You're right, Todd. So the HCC's VAST Academy is hosting a new online cohort. And for students who have intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities, it will offer workforce and continuing educational occupation skills certificates. And the start dates, it started yesterday and today. But for more information, you can email the director, Sue Moraska, and we'll have her information on the post over here for that. Okay,
Carolina, it looks like our guest is trying to log in right now, so we're going to give her a second to do so. And while we're doing that, while she's logging in, we're going to talk about the free Zumba for kids because HCC instructor Claudia Pena, who has been on our show, is now teaching kids how to Zumba. That's right. It's part of HCC's community learning workshops. And if you've got some kids at home, maybe they're getting home from school, they're a little antsy, get them doing Zumba. Why not? Get them to do Zumba. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, starting today, as a matter of fact. We'll have a link on how to sign up in the post after our show. Okay, student life events, Claudia. Now the fall is in full swing, and we've got some events for students to get things started for the semester.
Yes, so now the fall is in full swing and the Office of the Student Life is very busy planning all these events, virtual and also in person. So please get ready. And You Matter, Suicide Prevention Awareness Discussion is the number 1. It will happen on noon on Thursday, September 9th, tomorrow. The life coach, Stephanie McKenzie, and you can learn about these suicide behaviors, treatment options, and self-help tools. Also resources to help reconnect and find hope. And there's also a second virtual series called Life Hacking 101. And it's returning on Tuesday, next week, September the 14th. So Eagles, please get ready for our annual virtual series, armed to help you learn tricks and tips for a more educational and enjoyable campus experience. I've seen so many different events in this virtual series, and this is a very important topic. So I highly encourage you to log into this virtual series. And we'll have workshops about LinkedIn as well, reading for comprehension, unconscious bias, understanding student loans, and so much more. So please stay in touch with us in Up to the Minute. And please share also this episode to all your friends and family. It's a very interesting virtual series.
Yeah, so we'll have more on that. Okay, we're going to try to go to Cynthia Lundgren. Cynthia, can you turn your camera back the other way? Let's see your side. You keep going sideways here. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And I unmuted your mic. So go ahead and I muted your mic rather. I'll go ahead and unmute your mic and then we can get on with talking about Coleman College of Health Sciences. Okay. Can't hear you. If you can unmute your mic. Should be the button on the bottom left.
There.
Okay.
How's that?
There we go. All right. We got Cynthia Lundgren, Director of Medical Assistant Program at Coleman College for Health Sciences. Cindy, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Glad you made it online.
Thank you.
So we kind of promoted this a little while ago, but the Medical Assistant Program at Coleman, great honor. You guys are rated one of the top in the nation.
Yes, that was through EduMed, one of the best across the nation. We do offer our online and hybrid courses as well. And so they recognized us last year for 2020. It was great.
That's incredible. And I know you've got a lot of students back in this semester. What exactly do medical assistants do, and what's the nature of their work?
Well, medical assistants are like the liaison between the whole healthcare team. They are the ones that have the first contact with the patients. They do the front office and the back office work, and they work directly with the providers, with nurses, nurse practitioners, physicians, assistants, with physicians, all kinds of different specialties. And they are doing the administrative work and the clinical work. So they're very valuable because they can work anywhere within the office as needed.
Where would they, speaking of the office, where I imagine they could find a job in a variety of places, from hospital to private practices, maybe clinics all across the board?
Yes, hospital-based clinics, definitely private physicians, specialties, any type of discipline that you can possibly think of in the medical field. Medical assistants are there in those offices. They also are in research labs. They're also working in some of the schools, working as clinical assistants. And they are also working in outpatient facilities, surgery centers. Urgent care is another place where medical assistants are finding their niche. And again, any type of specialty that is out there, medical assistants are right there.
And for medical assistants, the position itself, I would imagine as the population's aging, people are needing more health care. Are these jobs growing exponentially like all really health-related jobs?
Well, the Bureau of Labor Statistics think that the growth is going to be 19% up until 2029. So again, with what's going on out there as far as COVID is concerned, there is just a definite need for medical assistance. And the thing is with medical assistant, you find out real quick whether or not the medical field is for you. So it kind of gives you that entry into healthcare to find out, do I really want to continue and get your feet wet in the field per se. But again, there is such a need for medical assistance right now, and our program is growing with that need as well.
And are these students allowed to find work while they're still going through the program? Are you finding that places may want to hire them, bring them on board while they're still getting their certifications?
Well, according to our guidelines for CAPE accreditation, our students do an externship. So that means that it's an unpaid learning experience. And during COVID, we did reduce the number of hours. Our contact hours for the practicum or the external learning experiences used to be with our programs 240, but we reduced it to the minimum standard, which was 160. So that got our students in and out and to be able to get into the workforce, which is where they were needed right now, sooner. So that way we were able to accommodate not only the students complete their education, but also to accommodate the needs of the employer who needed medical assistance.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you next, because I've had Dr. Nicotera, the president of Coleman College, on our show several times, and we've discussed the fact that the medical industry right now, the workers, the frontline workers are exhausted, they're overworked. Some of them have retired, some of them have taken off because they've made so much money during COVID. So he's finding that a lot of the hospitals and employers are needing our students as quickly as possible. Are you noticing that as well?
Yes, that's definitely true. I get phone calls all the time wanting to know, do you have externs? Do you have graduates? And that's all over the Houston metropolitan area, and not only just for the larger institutions, but definitely for those private practices as well. And we are trying to accommodate them as soon as we can. The issue is that most of the time our students are finding employment as soon as they complete their 160 hours. They're keeping them. So we'd like to be able to accommodate as many employers as we possibly can, but our students are finding jobs.
And speaking of those jobs, I'm reading here the average annual income around $37,000. Is that kind of what students can look at as soon as they are graduating?
Oh, the minimum maybe $16 an hour to maybe about $20 an hour. And, that also may or may not include benefits. some of the larger institutions have wonderful benefits for our students, so that's just a base salary. And of course, once they have completed their credentialing exam, then the salary will also increase, and maybe the level. Some of the institutions have a level 1, level 2, as far as their medical assistant job descriptions are concerned. And what we try to do is to make sure that our students have passed that credentialing exam prior to graduation, so they are definitely employable before they finish our program.
And the program itself, how many certifications can you get? How long does it last? Is it something that you need a 2-year degree, or can you go on to a 4-year? How does that work?
Well, our program, once the students have completed the year that they're with us, they sit for the credentialing exam. So again, they get out there in the field, and they can also go on to the associate degree in allied health, which that prepares them for a pathway to continue for a bachelor's degree. Some of our students are actually finishing the program going into diagnostic medical ultrasound, or they're going on to get their bachelor's degree in healthcare administration. And then some have been working as a medical assistant, and then they decide they want to go into nursing. And some of your larger institutions would help fund that education if the student wants to go into a nursing program.
Well, as you mentioned, this is kind of the job description, and the program itself is to give you an idea on whether or not you want to go into the medical industry and make this a career, and that's really get your feet wet.
Definitely. And, there are so many things that a medical assistant can do, besides just working the front office, doing the clinical aspect, drawing blood, performing EKGs, administering medications. And right now with COVID, our students are also helping with the screening process, the registration, the actual testing, and now also doing the vaccine itself. Personally, I had a medical assistant give my vaccine as well. So that was kind of neat.
I know we've had a number of our students that have worked in the community with Representative Sheila Jackson Lee and giving out vaccinations. Very proud of them. Tell us what makes HCC's Coleman College program unique, and why did you guys get a number 2 rating in the nation? What makes it so special?
Well, I think that besides being a KHEP accredited program and the course delivery, we are doing online with the schedule, and also hybrid labs. Well, we have a fantastic faculty. Our faculty is unique because we have faculty from all different aspects of healthcare. We have nurses, we have a physician, we have an EMT, we have a healthcare administrative one with a medical business degree. And besides having those advanced degrees, they are credentialed as medical assistants. So they are specialists in their field. And that really provides a very unique education for our students, and as well as giving them the options of going into just not getting their certificate, but going in and getting their associate degree. So this really makes them more marketable.
If someone's watching this and they're like, wow, I'm interested in this, can you still enroll for how does it work? Do you guys have a traditional fall, spring? If you are interested, are you enrolling now for spring? How does that work there?
Well, we've already accepted our cohort for the fall semester, and Todd, we have 50 students that came in this fall. So that is just fantastic.
Wow.
And we are looking for the spring semester. Currently, students can apply for the program for the spring, get priority admission. The first thing they need to do is become a Houston Community College student first. Seat advisor, do college testing because you have to be college ready, and then take the prerequisite courses. We have English 1301 and HPRS 1201 are the prerequisite courses, and then apply to the health sciences, the medical assistant program, because health sciences has selective admission. And again, we do take the 2 cohorts. So students can take those prerequisite courses now, submit their application now, and be considered for application or admission for the spring semester.
And I know we have a lot of ways of funding our students' tuition, especially right now at HCC. So if you're interested, as you heard, prerequisite courses, we've still got a second start semester. You can sign up now and get started with those prerequisites by September 20th. We have lots of funding ways this semester at HCC, and then sign up for Coleman College in the spring. Cynthia Lundgren, we appreciate you being here and shining some light on the medical assistant program at Coleman College.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you. Okay, if you're interested, we'll have some links in the social media post for this show. Going to get back with Carolina because we got a few more announcements. You know, Carolina, every Wednesday over at the Central College, and they're still doing this because we did check it out. They're giving out free haircuts to help our students who are in the cosmetology program.
Yes, actually, one of our co-workers was able to join a couple semesters back. It's just time for classes, and free haircuts are offered to staff and students only. It's happening on Wednesdays at HCC Central, and the walk-ins are welcome except during lunchtime. That's 12 to 1 p.m. And you can just show up and take your ID or contact vanessa.pena@hccs.edu.
Okay, I want to skip down and talk about the domestic violence workshop, a very important subject. That is coming up. HCC's Counseling and Abilities, Counseling and Abilities Services is presenting the virtual workshop on the intersection of domestic violence and human trafficking. That's happening in conjunction with the Aid to Victims of Domestic Violence. It's a very important workshop. Check it out. 1 p.m. Thursday, September the 23rd. If you want to attend the workshop, we'll have a link in our social media post. As we've been mentioning, Carolina, second start semester is getting underway very shortly now on September 20th.
Yes, please hurry up and register. So the second start is around the corner on September the 20th. And as we know, there are changes at HCC's course delivery. For the first few weeks, the safe word of our students, we will have some options. We have the online anytime. Most classes return to remote now. Online on a schedule, again, most classes remote now. And the hybrid lab, only some will be offered. And then the hybrid course and in-person class are not offered the first few weeks because of all these changes that we have.
Right. So October 4th is the date we're looking at getting students back in the classrooms. That's the way it looks right now. Of course, we will follow CDC guidelines and let you know as we're progressing forward. The main thing is you can still take your classes. You can still get through this semester. Go to hccs.edu/now and register today. Don't let financing be an option or hold you off, because we have a number of ways of helping you pay for your college this semester. Okay, Thursday, tomorrow, Virtual Family Fun Day. We'll return to the Library of Congress to talk with them. And Film Friday is right around the corner. Friday is only a couple days away, and we're talking about the reopening of the rooftop cinema in Uptown. So stick around for that. Carolina, you back tomorrow?
Yes, I will be here joining you.
Okay, Carolina is back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully you will as well. If you don't catch our show live, catch us at noon and 5 p.m. on HCCTV, live every morning, 10 a.m. right here on Up to the Minute.